It was a story that captured the world's attention. On June 23rd last year, 12 boys from a youth soccer team decided to explore a cave in Thailand with their coach. The group entered the Tham Luang cave in the northernmost province of Chiang Rai. But shortly after entering, heavy rains began to fall. Floodwaters rose. The boys and their coach were trapped. Early efforts to find them failed. The search team grew to hundreds of people, including diving experts and rescuers from around the world. Then, after 9 days with no news and 4 kilometers from the cave's mouth, divers found everyone starving but still alive. Now came the challenging task of bringing them to safety through a flooded cave, a daring mission that cost one rescue diver his life. Finally, after almost 3 weeks after the beginning of their ordeal, one by one, the boys and their coach were rescued. They were greeted as national heroes. Right next to the cave now is our correspondent in Thailand, Charlotte Chelsom-Pill. Charlotte, what's going on there?
Nick, huge crowds of people have been gathering here to the site of the cave. They want to check out the place where this ordeal unfolded a year ago today. Lots of people here also wanting to pay their respects to the Thai diver who tragically lost his life during the rescue. He's commemorated in a statue just behind me. But it wasn't entirely a somber mood here today. It was rather jovial, actually. A fun run took place, a bike ride, raising funds for tourism development here in the area. People here telling us that many of them thought that these boys would not come out alive. So for them, it is a moment of celebration. Now, of course, the events marking this anniversary will take place over the next 17 days, the amount of time those boys spent inside the cave. Tomorrow, the boys will actually be at the cave site. There's going to be a Buddhist ceremony that is aimed at extending their lives. That they'll also commemorate the diver who lost his life in this rescue.
When we cast our minds back, I think as many of our viewers can, that dramatic 2 weeks, how are the boys dealing with the trauma they must have gone through during that time, never knowing whether or not rescue would come?
That's right. It was, of course, extremely traumatic for the boys who were trapped in that cave for 17 days. They didn't know whether they were going to make it out alive. Often it was in pitch darkness. They had no food. But we don't know much about the welfare of those boys. Their privacy is fairly strictly protected by authorities here. They have, though, made the rounds every now and then, given media interviews. We know, for example, that they appeared on a US chat show. We know that they've met members of footballers from the Manchester United team. But not much else really is known about their welfare now, a year on from this rescue operation. We do know, though, a lot more from the divers. We've spoken to a number of them. They've told us about their fear in the build-up to this rescue. They said that they really thought for an extended period that this would be a recovery of bodies rather than a rescue of these boys. One of them spoke to us a short time ago, and he spoke of his fear and his exhilaration when the first boys were pulled out alive. Take a listen.
Well, I think two things really is one on the 2nd of July when John and Rick found the boys alive. I think that stands out for most people, especially with the videos that were shown at the time. I certainly remember the day that Saman tragically lost his life, and then really for me days, 8 July, 9 July, 10 July when all the boys were eventually came out alive.
An incredible rescue, and I think we can remember all of the world's attention on that rescue and the feeling of joy as the summer began. How, however, are the Thais feeling about it now, 1 year on? Has it changed things in Thailand?
Well, people now really view this as a miracle. People really didn't think that these boys were going to be pulled out alive. As such, Thailand really does seem to want to remember this anniversary as a success story for the country, really applauding all of those who were involved in that rescue. As such, this whole region is being developed now. It's becoming a tourist hotspot, an unlikely tourist hotspot. Tourists are gathering here, thousands of them by the day in high season to visit this cave and commemorate this really epic ordeal. It's now being made into a Netflix film as well. So that will only increase the number of people wanting to visit this site and coming here especially to check it out.
Okay, Charlotte Chelsom-Pill, thanks for that. More good news then for the people in the region.